Hey folks, Jonathan here. Okay, so I'm going to start tearing down this ERIE engine and get it ready to start cleaning on. A little update on the Hamilton. We've got I bought a bearing. I found a 7-inch bearing, 350 pounds, on its way here. And the reason, I don't think I told everyone, but the reason I wanted to bolt this together and go ahead and get it together is I don't have the plans for the foundation for this. So what my plans are to roll out some paper on my trailer bed, and we'll sit this back down on it and then try to draw around the holes and make sure I get them decent. Or I might, I could butt up some plywood. Let me see, 16 foot, it'd be more than 16 I believe, but we're going to do something to try to get a pattern made, and that way we can go ahead and do the foundation for this engine, because you know, we're going to go ahead and have it up and running. Somebody said that I ought to do a shirt that says and the governor's missing, and he's right. I mean, it seems like the governor's missing on everything, so that's my luck. But we do have one for this that we was working on, and I don't have a bearing for this one and don't have the other side for this one. We can make that pretty easy, and we may or may not re-pour the babbits. I mean, it's not terrible. Sometimes you'll see cracking and stuff, but that's not what you look at. You know, as long as it's not lifting from the block and it's actually, you know, still pretty good shape level wise, them cracks don't mean a thing. You know, all this is cut into it anyway for oil, and then you can see it's got a crack out here, which, like I said, don't mean, you know, anything at all. So a couple little chunks missing, not a big deal, not on the corners like that. So we'll probably run it. We're not sawing wood with it, or not planning to. So anyway, but the governor, of course, for this one, we're going to start taking things apart, and I think we're going to try to run it, like I said, without boring it, and we're going to hone the heck out of it and see what happens. But it's going to be pretty rough to get apart, but I think we can get it. So anyway, let's have at it. Okay, so I had heard a lot of good things about mixing acetone and transmission fluid together, 50-50. And I did, and I do like it. They say it's better than coral. I don't know if it is or not, but it's sure close to it. And you know, I've heard bad things about the all the cancers and stuff you get from everything, but you know, you don't ever know what's what. You don't know what's good and what's bad. The steam chest should come off. We're going to go ahead and get the shaft out of it, but it should come off from the studs here. It's going to be stuck pretty good inside, but we can get it. You know, everything comes apart on these a lot easier than what people think. You know, these nuts actually come off of here really good, and you know, it was really rusty when I started. Somebody did some welding on that, which was actually a good thing, because you know, you want it to have a good surface, because like I said, these don't tighten up tight. This it's got to move in here. That way the steam pressure pushes it up against the surface there. All right, so let's keep at it. All right, folks, coming apart. So we're backing these nuts off now. It's going to take 4 or 5 days, I think. Got some of the packing out. There it is. Actually was in pretty good shape, surprisingly. Broke it off trying to get it out, but we'll get it out. And let me see, had a hard time getting these bolts out. One of them was stuck in there really good. They went through and had nuts on the bottom side. Got them, and working on getting everything else apart. I tried to turn this nut. I did turn the nut a little bit, but it's tight in there, so I'd rather wait and heat that up, put this in the vise, and see if we can get that out. And I'm just going to keep working on these until I get it where I can get this D-cup valve off and get the shaft all the way out. And anyway, so that's what we're working on. Take a little break right now. So one of the things I wanted to talk about on this one, some of the stuff I've got to make still. I've got to make, well, there's 4 of these total, but there's 3 missing, so I'll probably end up making 4 of them, because this one's pretty rough. These are the nuts for the flywheel, hold them together. And then in the center on the crankshaft, and then there's I think 6 more on the outside, and I've only got 1 of them. They're smaller, but I'll have to make them also. So I got to get ready to do a lot of threading and turning, so not a problem. The problem is, okay, the nut that is missing that goes on the rod that tightens the rod up into the crosshead. Right here. Them threads right there are 2.375 by 6, which is 2 3/8 by 6, and I have found no nut whatsoever in the world for that thing. So I'm gonna have to make a nut, and I ain't gonna lie, I've never done any internal threading, and I guess it's time to learn. So we're gonna have to make a nut, get this stuff all, you know, rust way apart, and get everything good and clean. And you know, I see a lot of people that are redoing these. You know, you come in here with a boring bar and actually bore this, because this is round, believe it or not. But the thing about it is, these pits in it, you know, they're going to do nothing but hold oil. So I don't have an issue with them. I'm not going to go through and redo them. I'm not making a show engine. I mean, if I was worried about show or something like that, I might would do something, but I'm not even going to consider trying to do anything with them. I didn't do anything on the baits. A few little pits, not going to hurt a thing. They'll hold oil. They'll hold oil better with the pits, to be honest with you, than if it was just a smooth surface. So we won't mess with that. I've got to measure the inside of that because I can't get a... The size comes out to be about a 62 millimeter, and I can't get a 62 millimeter shaft. Get a 63 like I used on the other engine, but I got to measure that center hole. Do a I got an inside mic. I can get in there and get that measured. You can see the ears are broke off that where the packing gland goes, but they had threaded into the head down there, so we've got the studs for that, so that's not an issue there. No problem at all. So we're moving right along on both of these engines. All right, let me get back to work on this Erie City Iron Works, and I'd love to find somebody to sandblast that thing. I don't know. I got enough sandblaster and air compressor, but I don't like sandblasting. Just not one of the things I've ever liked. All right, okay, so I was finally able to get that bracket out, and then I was able to get this and started seeing all the pits and messed up spots and the pitting under here. So I've elected to cut it. I'm not going to keep going. It's just wasting time because I'm going to have to redo it anyway. So anyway, I'll cut it and then we'll get it. We'll have to get it unscrewed from there, but we can get it. I mean, even if we had to machine it out, we'll get it out. So anyway, there you go. Hey, this thing's got double D's. 2D cup valve, double. So we got 2 exhaust ports, one here, and then your intake. So puts it in there, lets it out of here, and go back through there and come out the exhaust, and then it moves the other way, and then lets it in here, and it lets it come out of this one into this exhaust. So both exhaust ports go to the same place. Kind of neat. Looks like they got some brass pieces or something, maybe holding, got that pin to it or something. I've never seen that before. So we definitely don't want to disturb anything too much. That one looks like it's gone. So this surface here is going to have to be worked on, and of course this surface will have to be redone, which I can probably set it up on the clean it all up real good and set it up on surface grinder, because these are going to have to be perfect. At least you can tell the bottom right where it's pitted out. It'll be fine. It'll clean up. So anyway, not an issue, magazine issue or whatever. So I got lucky, I cut it in the perfect spot for it to come out. It just happened to slide forward and come directly out. We're good to go there. So we've got a lot of threading to do on that, but like I said, it wasn't gonna hold a packing anyway, so we definitely gotta have something to hold the packing. And there's the rest of the packing out. So there you go. So I might try to get this steam chest off, and then we got to take the cross slides off and hopefully be able to figure out how the heck we're going to get that piston out. We don't know how that rod comes out of that thing yet. Like I said, it's been brazed there. Got a wedge there, and then I bet it's threaded. You think it's wedged and then threaded? I don't know. Talk to myself. I don't see how it could be. So the other end of it's peened. I don't think that wedge would be holding it by itself, but you know, I've been wrong plenty of times before. I don't know, we may have fun with this one. The only good part about this is this cylinder will unbolt from the bottom, from the bed box bed, what it's actually called. So we're gonna have to take it completely down anyway, because you can see the pipes broke off there for the drain, so we've got to redo it. And it's got a hole on the far side over there. It's supposed to run down and out the other side. So we'll have to get that back up and rolling. We'll resurface this real good, or clean it all up. I don't want to go too far with it, just want to clean it really good, because we don't want to have to mess with the babbitt. It's actually tight. It was tighter than I thought it would be coming off, so I think that'll all be fine. Just some really good cleanup. So this next step, I guess we're going to get this off here, but I'm going to see if the steam chest will move without hurting anything. That's going to be, I don't know, we'll see. Might have to pull some studs or something, I don't know. All right, folks, we got it all slid out here. Maybe somebody can tell me what these are, or how they, I don't know, almost like maybe they painted them in there. Don't know, never seen that before. There is, like I said, one missing, but I don't think it's going to hurt a thing, but I think we can work with it. It's a big heavy cylinder, but we can put it in there on the, well, I don't know what we can put it on. It's awfully big, ain't it? Yeah, I don't know if we can fit that on anything I got, to be honest with you. But we can get it cleaned up. I mean, it won't be too bad. We'll figure something out. Worst comes to worst, I got friends. Yeah, this thing's pretty dirty. This will clean up good and make some new gaskets for it. I'm not sure, them probably asbestos or something. Everything's asbestos. Everything's trying to kill us. Mother Nature, she's the biggest one. But anyway, all right, I think we're going to stop on this one for here. Vic will probably be back maybe next week or something. I don't know. We've got some bad weather coming, so he'll probably be after the weather. And but for now, we're just going to keep trying to tear this down. I think maybe I'll get the cross slides off of it. I don't know. Okay, crossheads off. The bars on the top, and now trying to figure out how this cylinder, how this rod is in there. I don't know. That actually could be braze. I don't know. We'll probably end up having to cut this rod, and we're going to replace it anyway, but I don't know that I want to use what they've got here, so we may come up with a different mount. I don't like this at all. I don't see why. I have to check that out and see if that is brazed, but it looks like braze in there. If it's not brazed, then it's definitely babbitt melted in. You know, we're brazed on top and on bottom, and then we got a wedge through there, and it just don't make a lot of sense, because you can't, there's nothing else you could do to get this out, because there's no place on the piston to grab to turn it. And so, you know, if it was threaded and it's peened on the end, like riveted. So definitely gonna have to figure this one out. So I think we'll probably end up cutting the rod, and like I said, it's gonna need replaced anyway. So try to replace them all with hydraulic cylinder rods with chrome on them, so they hold a packing good. And I don't know, we'll see what this looks like and keep going. All right, folks, I don't know if this is an advertisement or a box maybe the parts come in. Somebody used it for a shim. Let me get my glasses on, maybe I can read a little bit of it. All right, not sure. Something company and Pacer company, something Pacer company, taper Pacer company, I don't know. See if a little bit of this paper will come off. Still got some paper covering it. Yeah, that's about it. So it looks like thin belts, small belts, Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's pretty neat. You can tell by the printing, you know, there's really old advertisements. Anyway, so where we're at, what a mess. So I got the gland packing nuts off, and got the gland moving just a little tiny bit, not much. got a feeling that this is brass. They must have had it turned up or something and brazed it on there. So that's a mess. Don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I bet it's going to involve, let me see, rod may go all the way through, I don't know. I don't know, maybe if this was broke, it wouldn't be good. I really don't know. I don't know what's going to be best on this, so give me some time to figure this one out. I don't know, because I don't even know how I'm going to get it apart. I just know that I'm going to end up cutting a rod because, like I said, it's pitted anyway, and it won't hold a good packing. So we're going to cut the rod and get it out, and then we'll figure that out for sure. But that is going to be a mess, I got a feeling. Yeah, I'm surprised it even held together. I mean, I guess with the pin in it, but I'm not liking the whole setup at all. I mean, I'd rather have, you know, even if we had a nut that the rod would screw into and then a jam nut to come down against it, would be better than what's there. I don't know. And I'm not much on the brazing part of it, but, you know, I know brazing's strong, but I don't know how strong for that. I don't know. So we'll get the rod cut tomorrow and we'll go from there. But I think we're going to call it a night and get some more advertising. Yeah. Yeah, I can see something on it. So they used advertising papers or boxes or something for shims. Pretty sick too. So, alright, there we go. I think we're going to call it a night. Not very exciting on that, but I don't know. A lot of people don't like my steam engines, but I like them. So, alright, appreciate everybody watching. Till next time, bye.